Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time, sponsored by the Mill Casino.
Welcome back, one of the funnest things that we get to do here on Outdoor GPS is talk to some of our guide buddies that are out there chasing fish real time, and we actually have good video. Shane, it's good to see you, man. You're sitting on your seat chasing salmon. You got to be happy.
I am pretty happy. It's good to see you guys.
How's things going this morning for you?
You know, we are grinding away. We haven't had a bite yet, but the water looks nice, and I'm confident we should get fish.
Up to this point, Shane, how's it been for you as far as the 2025 spring Chinook season?
You know, I'm working for them just like everybody else. We've been out 4 times so far, and we've picked up 2 fish in 4 trips. So it's not definitely not stellar yet, but I think it's going to come in soon.
Now, that's got to be a little difficult for you. I've had a chance to fish around you, especially where you happen to be now, and you do that usually in the morning, let alone 4 trips. Are you concerned at this point, or are you just thinking that the conditions are keeping us, or keeping the fishing a little bit poor?
You know, I really feel like it's the conditions. You know, we've got some early high water, which really dirtied things up with a lot of debris. We had that late smelt run that came up, and it came all the way to Bonneville. And it just hasn't materialized into good conditions yet. I think the fish are here, and I think we got plenty more coming. It's just timing.
Yeah, definitely timing is a good way to put it. We got all the wrong things coming together at one time to slow things down. But it is the 5th of April. You got one more day below Bonneville before I'm sure you're making changes, of course. What's your plan for the remainder of the day and tomorrow? What are you going to do?
You know, we are going to keep grinding on this, of course. We're here. No reason to leave. I haven't decided for tomorrow. I'm just going to see what happens the rest of this day. But I may bump downriver a little bit. I know with the way tides are, that I-5 bridge area should be fishing good. And maybe get closer to a few more bottled up fish. But haven't made a full decision yet.
Well, you mentioned I-5. I know that you had some success down here a week or 2 ago with one of your new baits from Yakima Bait. And Ryan, if you happen to have that photo, you can show that. But what are you fishing with this morning, and why?
You know, so I'm fishing all those Yakima Bait cut plugs, and you know, we got that fish a couple weeks ago before all the smelt and before all the high water. So that was, you know, the conditions were right, and it was an early one, but I got one pulled in here. So we got our Yakima Bait cut plug with your double 1/0 and a fish flash, and then our regular dropper leader, just like you'd fish your cut plug herring. You know, I've been sticking with these not only because we've been having some success in catching a couple fish on them compared to what I'm hearing out there, but also it's throwing something different than your regular herring amongst all the smelt that are in the river. It's got a bit of color, some different action, something that stands out with all the bait that's in here. So that's kind of why I've been sticking with them and haven't been switching over to any actual bait.
When would you make that decision? Would it be more fish being caught? What would make you decide to maybe put some cut plug out there as opposed to the Yakima Bait cut plug?
You know, so it would vary. When we get all the bait out of here and these fish are a little more hungry, you may start running them 50-50 and decide what they want. But as of what's going on right now in this season, I don't think we're going to get that chance. Usually that's happening by now. And obviously we still have smelt here and things are going to close soon. But I would imagine I would definitely throw both presentations if you're up fishing in the Willamette and getting away from some of that bait.
That's a very good point, because all that smelt going down the river, everyone, is just free food for the salmon at any given time if they get hungry for whatever reason. Shane, now you're fishing the Yakima Bait cut plug. You designed the thing, for crying out loud. What size have you been fishing? Are you fishing the full size model or the small version?
So I'm fishing the full size model, the 3.0. It rolls really well at the slow downhill troll speed, and I like that little bigger presentation. Uh, it's it catches their attention a little more. These fish it's all about getting in front of one. They're a snappy fish. It's just finding one. So and that little bit bigger presentation in this dirty water is a little more apt to get one to see it.
Are you stuffing it in these conditions, clarity, some smelt around? Are you changing what you would typically stuff your bait with at all to try to be a little bit more stand outish a little bit, or what are you doing there?
Well, there's a little picture of the tub. I don't know if you can see it, but I actually have chopped up herring in there.
Oh.
So I'm stuffing it with herring, but I got that herring soaked in some tuna scent and a little bit of krill powder and some salmon scent. And so that it's scented up herring, but it is actually chopped up herring instead of just your regular can of tuna. And that's so far what I've been best on.
Now, everyone, you can tell there he's got it prepared to go, right? He's got a little bit of dye in there. He's got his scent in there. And then, of course, stuffing his baits. Now, I got to ask, these are relatively new for everyone. I know they're not new for you, okay? And the intention wasn't necessarily to talk about these, but I got to, mainly because I'm very curious. Are you changing anything when you're fishing with those particular baits as opposed to herring? Changing your speed, or are you just fishing them the same way? What are you doing?
Fishing them down here in the lower river with your fish flash and bouncing bottom and hugging that, I'm fishing them just like you would a cut plug herring or a whole herring. They roll at the same speed. They have that same tight action and drill bit spin. And so I fish them just like I'm going to fish a herring. Now, obviously, when I move upriver, we switch into some 360 fishing. We'll adjust our leader lengths down a little bit shorter, that 32 to 36 range, and pull them behind 360s. But they'll spin right with your herring.
Yeah, I mean, I was very curious about that. It's a different bait. Sometimes there's going to be nuances to them to be presented the right way. So fish them just like you would a cut plug. Just keep them down there.
Exactly. Yeah, and don't change a thing on them. Make sure they're rolling and send them down.
Well, we've had a chance to show proper rigging of the cut plug, but if you want to have a chance to really see what Shane's got going on, he's got a seminar that he's going to be doing over at Fisherman's Marine the 12th at 3 p.m. It's at the Delta Park store, and you can actually have a chance to talk with Shane in person and find out what he's up to, how he's doing it, and how you might be able to incorporate what he's doing to be successful. All right, so Shane, again, they're closing the river down tomorrow below Bonneville. What's your first move going to be? You're going to go to the Willamette? You're going to go up above Bonneville? What are you going to do on Monday?
So this next week I don't have anything booked, so I'm going to take the week off, catch up on some of my chores with my Yakima Bait duties, and wait for a few fish to get into the Wind and Drano area, and so I can start up here in a couple weeks above, closer to my house.
Okay, so you're going to take a little bit of a break. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Let some fish show up a little bit and get stacked up for us.
Yeah, well, I don't think they've had a chance to get knocked off before they get a chance to cross Bonneville. I just don't foresee that being the case. But we do have a meeting coming up this next week, Shane, to find out what's going to actually happen over there. Well, I was hoping that maybe we're going to bring in a little bit of luck and watch one of those rods fold over, but it doesn't happen every time, does it?
No, they're being a little camera shy. I was hoping you would too.
It sounds like everybody needs a little help, everyone, even professionals like Shane, to get bit out there on 2025, the first week of April. Shane, as always, thanks for helping out. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Good to talk to you.
Take care. Be safe, okay? Good luck and land one, will you?
All right, will do.
All right, everyone, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up, give you an idea what we got going on for tomorrow. And tomorrow's another good one. We're going to have, well, I'll wait until we come back to tell you. We'll be right back.